So welcome back to Vallone's RC Hobby, guys, and I got another special guest here, and that is Mark Bryan from Mark Bryan RC, also on YouTube. I came across Mark's channel probably a couple of years ago, again, when I was getting back into this hobby, and I remember I had early RCs from, say, 25, 30 years ago, and so I was looking up stuff for Monster Beetle and Blackfoot, and Mark's videos came up, and what was amazing about his videos, guys, is that he's got such a great filmmaking technique when it comes to shooting his cars. And me being a filmmaker, I really gravitated towards his videos, and I was enamored by his shots and his slow motion and how close these cars were getting to his cars on these little power slides that they were doing on the gravel and such. So I'd like to introduce to you everybody, Mark Bryan from Mark Bryan's RC. How are you, buddy?
I'm all right, guy. Cheers. Nice to see you.
Mark has got a great site, guys. If you're looking for things to wrench on, he's got it. If it's about vintage RC, he's got it. Big Tamiya or Tamiya, however you want to call it, follower. So I grew up with Tamiya, and I tell you, it just brings back the old days, doesn't it?
To me, it just kind of nails it in every aspect for me. Just yeah, hits every mark.
Yeah, and I like that you're doing builds on your channel because when I spoke to Vass last week from RC Playground, that was our conversation throughout
Yeah,
the interview, was that there's not a lot of people building anymore, and that's a quality that is getting lost, in my opinion.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think for me, it's the key part of it for me. It's what drew me into it from the beginning. I've always been happy working with my hands. As a young child, I'll be doing Meccano, Lego kits, and that kind of thing. There
right.
were no RCs around when I was growing up in the 60s and 70s, so no internet, no RC. I did a lot of static modelling, lots of painting and detailing, so that always took my interest. So when I first noticed Tamiya, and the fact you could actually build your own car and then go out and drive it, I thought,
Yes.
wow, you've got everything in one, haven't you there? So you've got the modelling side of it, the building, the creativity side of it. And then on top of that, you can go and play with it, go up the park and thrash it about. So that's what really got me into Tamiya, yeah, in the first place.
Yeah, and it's a connection. Like now you have an emotional connection
Yeah, a
with
lot
these
of people
cars,
say that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
spot on. That is, Chris. Yeah, I think that's the thing is when I build one of my cars, when you own it, then don't you?
Hmm.
It's yours. You
Yeah.
make it yours. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That the sense of pride you get when you've got your brand new car, you take it out and you drive it for the first time. It's kind
Hmm.
of addictive, isn't it? Don't you think?
Totally. No, I totally agree. And I would feel that say if it came time to sell the car, I would
Whoa,
feel emotionally attached.
absolute no.
Right? I mean, it's similar to when I work on my V Dubs. We resurrect a car that's 60 years old
Sure.
from ground up,
Yeah,
and it's sometimes very tough to say goodbye.
I
But
can imagine. Yeah,
yep,
definitely.
it's a tough deal there,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a great quality that you have there, and it's nice that you show the little intricate details on how to tune things, how to get things going. I mean, your chassis builds I really like. It seems like you're working with similar chassis and you're putting different like rally bodies on them.
Yeah.
I don't know that Tamiya world, so I'm still used to the old like Frog chassis or Blackfoot chassis, and
Oh yeah.
but really really cool. I really like. Now the question I got is, does when you buy these kits, are they still not packing these cars with ball bearings, metal ball bearings?
Don't, don't even go there, Chris.
It's I'm
Oh,
like, what?
yeah,
Come on,
I know.
right?
Really is a killer because you've got like real cheap brands now coming out of China. Like you say,
Yeah.
for $100, you can get a really good RC car that's fully packed. It's loaded with metal parts. It's
Yep.
you got your 2.4 gig controller comes with it. The battery comes with it. It's got ball bearings. It's got metal drive shafts. Tamiya, they're selling. What really annoys me is they're selling a good grade car. Everything else about the car is great
Right.
for about. I mean, I think does dollars and pounds kind of equate now. So £100, £100 about $100.
Okay.
something like that. So for about £100 UK, you get a decent spec car, but it comes with bushings, plastic bushings instead of bearings, and what I call pogo stick shocks, which
Right.
is just
I
a
saw that.
piece of
Yep.
plastic with a spring around it. I mean, what's that all about, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah.
It needs to catch up, really.
Yeah. Maybe is it an ego thing? You think?
I don't know. I think maybe it's more of a money-making thing, Chris.
I guess. I
If
guess.
they want
Yeah.
to sell the aftermarket parts, so maybe. But on the more upmarket kits that they do, you do
Yeah.
get the bearings, you do get CVA oil shocks. So I don't really know. I think the entry level ones, I think they need to up the game a little bit, really.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, even like in the Kyosho world. I had some Kyosho cars in the past,
Yeah.
and same deal. Even back then, it was plastic bushings. And then today, I looked at some Kyosho cars on the market, and they're expensive too.
They are
They're right in there with Tamiya, So it's just, yeah, it's kind of perplexing, And even like the re-release for the Monster Beetle and the Blackfoot,
yeah,
why not put that better diff in there?
exactly.
The MIP diff is excellent,
Yeah,
and I put that in my Monster Beetle, and gosh, it's a world of difference.
I need to try that. I think it's quite an expensive upgrade, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like $60 or so,
Yeah,
$65 for the kit.
a fair amount of money, really. But
Yep.
from what I've heard, it's well worth getting.
I think so, because remember, what was the alternative kit when I was growing up was the Thorpe ball differential.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, I used to get the Tower Hobbies issue every month, and that was like gold to us.
Wow.
And that was expensive back then. And even now, like they say, it wasn't a better upgrade. It didn't do much better at all.
Yeah.
So it looked cool, but it didn't do much better at all. But the MIP was a good little addition
Yeah.
to that. But so what's your claim for the RC hobby? What is your message to someone in the RC community, or even just to yourself, for that matter?
What's the message of that? And one of the quotes that I would have picked up on if I'd have thought of it in the first place
Yeah,
is one that is from Nordic RC Visions. I don't know if you know
that
Michael
guy's great.
at Nordic RC Visions,
Yep,
and his is keep them running.
keep
And
running. Yep.
I also thought that one first because I really like that strap line, that kind of quote. Because for me, that's what it's all about. That's what it's always been
I
about
think so too.
in the hobby was keep them running. Would you believe every single Tamiya I ever bought from 1986, I've still got, and
Wow.
they're all still running.
Ah,
So
that's great. That's
uh,
great.
a lot of people talk about the quality of Tamiya, and yeah, it's just a plastic kit and bolt together. And there are lots of more modern kits now that are much stronger.
Sure.
But like I say, I've got kits from the 80s, 90s, and they have had so much use, Chris.
Wow.
Um, I had an Escort Turbo Cosworth on
Okay.
the TAO1 chassis, I think it was. I actually wore the tyres out on that. I mean, wore them through
Yeah,
till
yeah.
they part. It's had that much use. So yeah, keep them running is what I'd say.
And I'm in the same boat. I have a little shelf back there with a few RCs, and I make sure that every one of them is able to run. So whenever I want to charge a battery and go, I do fear the Tamiya stuff, because you take a wrong turn, you take a wrong bump, and they break.
They can,
And
yeah, yeah,
yeah, and I have some quirks with the Monster Beetle. I've helped protect it a little bit better, than so it won't break as bad. Because again, I built these when I was younger, so I had my grandfather and my dad that also helped me, and they're very handy with mechanics and such. So
yeah,
I was able to improvise with certain elements on the car, and so to prevent it from breaking. Of course, it wasn't bulletproof, but I tell you though that when my dad said, "Hey, after 30 years and the cars are sitting on my shelf collecting dust, and with rotted, nickel metal hydride batteries in them," he's
yeah,
like, "Come on, take them off the shelf. Let's get them running again." And
yeah,
finally, one Saturday, I agreed, and we started working on them. And sure enough, that's when I jumped online to eBay and started buying all new electronics to get them up and running again.
yeah.
And I did. I wound up dropping $500 that Saturday after I went on eBay. Um, But yeah, and I was glad that they re-released some of these cars because the parts are available. You
Absolutely.
know,
Yeah.
something like the Falcon, which was my first RC. This was the Falcon, if everybody can see this.
Gorgeous
And
car.
this was like in 86, I think,
Yeah.
this car. And my mother, we went to a local hobby shop. Back then there was hobby shops, around the county, around the town that you could have found frequently.
Yeah.
Now it's very tough to find them.
Same
Uh,
here. We've got virtually none left.
yeah, it's all
Yeah.
internet,
It's
it
all,
seems.
yeah.
Yep. And sure enough, she went in, and the guy offered to build it as well. So she dropped probably $300 to $350 in 1986 to buy this car for me
Wow.
and have it built by this guy. He painted everything. He did everything up for me. That's a lot of cash back then.
It is. It's a lot of
You
cash.
know, yeah,
It's still a lot of cash now. Uh,
yeah.
yeah.
Because like you said, you can pick up a car these days like that. If you're familiar with the WL toys,
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
the 144001, super
Yeah.
popular car. I mean, under $100, like you said, it could toast my Falcon.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, the oil filled shocks in it, the ball bearings, like you said, I have camber and toe adjustments. It's got a metal chassis, it's got metal shock towers. It's just for $100. And you say to yourself, holy cow, 30 miles an hour out the box.
It is. You're
So,
right. But at the end of the day, it's not a Tamiya.
it's not exactly. It
Yeah.
just goes back to you. Tamiya is youth.
Yeah.
That's what I feel, because even the box art is phenomenal on the Tamiyas.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's just nothing compares to it.
I think I've got one here. This is a Riri, and if you can see that, terrace.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not everyone's taste, but I mean, look, Chris, look at the design in that.
It's
You
awesome.
don't see much, you know what I mean? There's some thought gone into that thing, and I think that's Tamiya for me.
Yeah.
There's like effort in the design of it, and it's like a thing to desire. Do you know what I mean? Rather than
Yeah.
just a toy.
Yep.
You know what I mean, don't you?
I totally agree.
So
Yeah.
I wasn't that took on the looks of this one at first, but as I was building it, it kind of grew on me, and I kind of appreciated everything that's gone into it. So yeah, that's a new favourite, that one.
That's really nice.
So
Well,
old.
here's the other benefit to going with the Tamiya cars is the appreciation of them. Like, so say value wise, if you did want to sell them,
Yeah.
they keep going up. I mean, you can find original assembled Monster Beetles on eBay.
Yeah.
I see them here in the States. Some of them are up to $700.
Yeah, I've seen the one I had, the TAO1, which was on the Ford Cosworth.
Yeah.
I've seen those brand new in box go for 1,500 plus. You know, just crazy.
Kidding.
You know, that's a lot of money for a car, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, I think I paid 200 for mine back in the day.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That was the whole deal with the ACOMs, you know, the old 27 meg transmitter and that, which I still use, by the way.
That's awesome.
My channel is a guy, Pete Wiley. I don't know if you've seen any of his videos. Pete Wiley RC.
No, I gotta check him out.
If you haven't, check him out. He makes he inspired me watching his videos. You know, you talk about my videos with the close-up action.
Yeah.
That's where I got it from, watching him. And
Okay.
obviously Matteo back in the day. Those are the like inspirations. And then you've got Michael from Nordic RC Visions. All those guys really kind of drew me into it. And do the Tamiya with a passion.
That's awesome. Yeah, Nordic. I spoke to him. I wanted to interview him.
Yeah.
He didn't know why, but I hope I can get him on. Yeah, I hope I can get him on because he's got good stuff. I love the music he uses. He's dramatic in some things, which I like.
Style, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's fun.
Something about them, they are. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen. He's got Hobby Visions channel.
Okay.
And he does speak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to speak for Michael, but we're really good friends. He caught my channel when I got like no subs, or when I just started, and he really supported me. So I thank Michael for that. And we have so many chats online. Pages and pages of communication between us.
Oh, that's great.
He's a great guy.
No, it's got great
I
stuff. You know,
I
I
think
hope one day I can talk to him.
if you could, that'd be brilliant. But I think he's a bit too uncertain about his English. But
That's what he told me. Yeah.
I've heard a lot of English people speak worse than him. So,
That's all good. I'm sure. I'm sure. Well,
so
how old is your channel on YouTube?
I think it's just about 3 years now.
3 years. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm coming up on a year.
I
I'm
know you're doing really well. Your subs are picking up, aren't they? It took
picking
me
up.
quite a
Yeah.
while to get mine off the ground, but thanks to everyone out there that has picked up on my channel and supported me. I'm really grateful for that, and I'm quite surprised. Really, it started off as just a bit of a, to be honest with you, it was to upload some videos to share with friends. So
Yeah.
rather than having to email pictures, and okay, well, I'll stick it on YouTube, and it started like that, and then it started to grow and grow and grow, and then all of a sudden, wow, I might start taking this a bit more seriously now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a nice surprise.
I got to hand it to a lot of the RC channels that are out there because unlike say my VW channel that I've started that 13 years ago.
Yeah,
Um, I got into the RC channel just something different. I wanted to break away a little bit from the VW stuff,
yeah.
and I didn't realize after I started there's a lot of RC channels. There's a ton of competition.
There are thousands, literally, aren't there?
Yep, there's a lot of stuff. So to stand out from the crowd, I mean, any kind of traction you can get. I mean,
Yeah.
it's bravo to anybody out there who wants to try to get in because it's a tough nut, and
Yes.
and to run two channels, I'm trying to run two. It's overtime for me. One channel
Yes.
no alone is full time gig. So
Well, like you say, it's a nice little community though. Once you get into it,
yeah.
you start making a few friends, and most of the guys out there that I've met are really great. They're genuine guys,
Oh yeah.
and they're in it because they're passionate about RC.
Yep.
Helping spread the word, which is it's all good.
Yep. And I just think it's such, again, it's going out playing with. Some people think it's toys, but even if they say that to me, I'm like, you know what? It's healthy. I feel like, we're
Absolutely.
so
Yeah.
cooped up and this COVID thing. I hope you guys are okay over there, COVID wise, and
You're
you
doing
know,
okay.
you do what we can. And this is a great escape.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Definitely, that's a good way of putting it. I think when I go up my little shed and I sit down and I'm building a kit or sitting there with a video on and I'm trying to, explain what I'm doing, I'm focused.
yeah,
All the problems of the day, all the things at work and the
yep,
rest of life,
gone.
it's gone. I go
Yep,
out with my transmitter. I got the car there. I'm in a different world.
that's wonderful.
Basically, we're all little kids at heart, aren't we? Really, and
Yeah.
long mates stay that way.
I'm telling you, I told my wife, I said, look, you should be happy I'm doing this. This is great and she's come around. She realizes now. I mean,
Oh,
every
you
now and then.
a lot worse.
She's always like, "Oh, you're gonna go out and play now?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go out and play.
Yeah, too
Hell
much.
yeah!" So, I mean, I know we touched on it a little bit. How many years have you been in the hobby?
Um, it's probably 40 years now plus. Yeah,
So, it started
it's
in the beginning of the '80s, right? The '80s was the
early 80s. And I started late, like I say, because when I was really young, in my teens, there weren't really any RCs around. So
yeah,
yeah, and back then with no internet, there wasn't much advertising for stuff.
right,
But being into modelling, like I said, I was into the static stuff and scale electric cars and things like that, slot racers.
hmm
Um, there's a big shop in the middle of Birmingham called Beatty's, great big model store, and I used to go down there with my friends at the weekend and we'd have a look around, and they used to have like a Tamiya of the week, and they
Oh,
had a portable TV up on the wall with
nice.
those promo videos that Tamiya
Yep,
did. Have you seen them?
yep.
And the first one I saw was the Monster Beetle, and I looked up at that screen and it was blasting around in the sand, and I was like, I've got to have one. I've got to have one of those.
Yep,
But
yep.
like you said, we've talked about it back then. £200, I think it was.
Right.
There's a lot of money in the 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
So I saved up my money, and as soon as I could, I'd got one of those kits.
That
Yeah,
that's
so glad I did. Yeah,
that's what I did too. Like I used to save up as my dad had his own landscaping company, And my older sister, had a pizzeria. She still's got it. And so when I was a kid, I used to help him
Yeah,
and help her a little bit, get a little extra money. I saved up birthday money, of course. I was maybe, again, like 10, 11, 12 years old, 13. And so Tower Hobbies was the big catalog to order from.
sure.
And I used to pick everything out what I needed to get. I'm getting a Blackfoot or a Monster Beetle, and I would save up. I mean, of course, it would take me almost a whole year to save up, right?
Yeah.
And I ordered that, and then back then they allowed COD because I didn't have a credit card.
COD? What's
Yep,
that?
which is cash on delivery.
Okay.
So when the shipper, the UPS or FedEx guy knocks on your door and he's got the product, I had to give him the money.
Wow.
So
We don't have that in the UK.
yeah, I don't think they even do it anymore
No.
because everything's credit card or everything's through
Pay,
credit or
probably.
debit.
Yeah.
But man, I would be waiting after school, couldn't wait, looking out the window for that truck to go up and down my street and to see when this guy is this the day I'm going to get my RC.
I can
Door.
imagine.
He gave this big box, and just the smell of it, and just opening it, and the smell of
Yeah.
the new tires. It just,
Yeah.
I think it's something that a lot of kids are again they're missing today. That
Miss
what we
out on
had,
that.
that was
Yeah.
a golden era back then in the
Yeah.
'80s. It
Yeah,
really, really
I
was.
can see on your face the memory of
Oh,
those memories don't go away, do they? Yeah,
nah, man. And anytime you take a whiff, I take a whiff of my old cars. Just I even have the old box. I got the old instructions. All I got to do is just put it right to my nose. You go right back in time.
wow, yeah.
And it's just really, really special. So, I mean, so what do you think from back then in the '80s to now? What has transitioned? What has changed?
Wow. To be honest with you, Chris, for me, it's pretty much the same. There are
Okay.
some things that have changed, but because I'm still mainly with Tamiya's, they're still the same, aren't they? They're and which again is something I think is good, but also I think they need to bring out a few new kits now. Obviously, you've got the batteries are different,
Yeah.
although I'm still running mainly nickel metal hydride.
Okay.
Um, a lot of people again keep going on to me, why don't you use a lipo?
A
Why don't you do
lipo, yeah.
this? I'm like, okay, but my cars run quite well with NIMS.
Yeah.
Um, I've been sent a battery to test for free, which was a lipo, and it was a little bit better. I tested it in my Blitzer Beetle,
Okay.
and that got an increase of about, I think it was 10% speed, top speed. But in my standard motored cars, which have just got the silver cans,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't make that much difference. So there's that. The other bigger difference is the new speed controllers, the ESCs, because
Okay.
as you remember back in the day, there were those mechanical three-step.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Glad those have gone, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. Although
Uh-huh.
it was being able to whack it from full forward to full reverse, that kind of stop and then brake and then reverse.
Right. Right.
So that's changed. I'm still using, as we call, the wibbly wobbly. So
Uh-huh.
the 27 meg, I still use that a lot of the time. Mainly, Chris, down to cost. Again,
Yeah.
because I'm not the richest of people.
Me
And
neither.
as you know, trying to do this hobby with the cost of the kits as they are, I've got about 20-ish Tamiyas now.
Okay.
And to buy the radio sets for all of them is just, to me, adds that cost. Probably would have costed another £200 or £300 on top of what I
Yeah.
already spent. So I
Mm-hmm.
just use the old AM receivers, as you know, and just swap the crystals. So that's how I started. I
Wow.
have got a couple of 2.4 gig transmitters and now, but again, I swap those between the cars also. So
Okay.
keeps the running costs down. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good for me.
I got the old Futaba radios. Do you still have the traditional two? I see you on one of your videos. You still have
I,
the traditional two levers. Yeah.
I always use the twin stick. Yeah,
Yeah, that's amazing.
even
Yeah.
even the 2.4 gig systems I've got a twin stick.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I've
those are
tried
fun.
a steering wheel, but I'm just not so good with them. I don't
Really,
know.
yeah.
It's when you're kind of what's it called, muscle memory or something like that.
Yeah.
So you get that used to it that you don't
Yeah.
think, yeah, you just do it. You just drive the car.
Yep. Yep.
Whereas if I get that steering wheel, I'm thinking right, left. It's
I know. Yep.
so
Yep.
I need to get it, into the new scene. I think I need to get into it.
It's
Um,
all they really have with the ready to run kits. It's all
yeah,
these little sticks. I mean, but they feel like nothing. Like when my old Futaba radios was so heavy duty. They had
yeah,
such a weight to them, and they felt like, I mean, you could hit somebody with it, it would hurt. I mean, these today they're so flimsy. I mean, plus you had
yeah.
to put eight batteries
Eight AA batteries in, yeah.
at the back then.
Yeah.
Now there may be three, four, or I've seen some down to three batteries, double A's. But most of them are four. But even like from Arma, like you get their transmitters, they feel like nothing.
But
I mean, there's,
flimsy.
there's like nothing. If you open them up, I'm sure there's like hardly anything in them. But
Yeah.
the old Futabas, man, I mean, they had such weight to them, and I still use them on my old Tamiya cars. I mean, and they work fine.
Cool. It's
You know,
not
I,
just me.
I I don't have a problem. So I'll be honest. Like some of the things, I get some interference with some of the new radios, depending where I'm racing around. If there's power lines or something or whatever interference, I have had some range issues. With some of
Yeah.
the newer radios. Maybe the old tech is just immune. I
You
don't
know,
know.
it's weird you should say that because a few people have commented about the safety of using the old AM stuff, but I've never had a problem. Like
Yeah.
you say, sometimes there's a bit of a range issue, but sometimes there's like a dead spot.
Right.
If like I'm racing around the trees, it might go behind the tree and it'll cut out momentarily and then it'll come back. But what generally happens is the car just stops.
Hmm.
But it's funny because I got back into the hobby with my son a few years ago. When he got to about 13 or 14, he found the monster beetle up in the loft
Okay.
and said, "Hey, Dad, what's this? Can we get this going again?" So after my break of like you said the same about 20 years, he's what got me back into it. So we built
Hmm.
that back up together out of
Nice.
spec, and then I ordered two cars the same. I think there were two Tamiya Super Fighters. I think they were the DTO2s.
Okay.
So we had two of those, and it came as a package with the 2.4 gig radios.
Oh.
And we took them up the park. We ran them a few times, and I remember the once I got mine going. I turned around the corner onto the straight, and it just kept going.
Hmm.
Oh my god, transmitter! Turn it off, on. The thing was going. So I threw the transmitter. I ran across the park after
Oh
this.
my gosh.
We were about 50 yards from a main road, quite a
Oh.
busy main road in
Hmm.
the park. And I'm running behind this car thinking, please no, please no. And it did, it just kept going dead straight. It
Wow.
jumped bank and it went straight into the road.
Ah.
Luckily, it didn't hit a car. There were no cars coming. It went straight across the road and into a
Boom.
wall. Plastic explosion. that, that was the end of that.
I can imagine.
But
Wow.
that was 2.4 gig.
Yeah.
I sent them straight back. The place was great. They gave me replacements with upgraded ones, and I haven't had a problem since. But it just shows you, just because it's more modern doesn't mean that it's not going to fail.
No, absolutely. I mean, I've seen it. Like I said, I have it. With some of my new RCs. It's amazing that some things do fail.
Yeah.
But you brought up the Blitzer Beetle. I've been
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to get even just one for a Shelf Queen. I'm just trying to find an original, and
Yeah.
I missed out on one because I was on vacation and I was watching eBay, and there was a beautiful Blitzer Beetle, an old one, from
Yeah.
the original.
Yeah.
And it was, of course, the auction was ending in like the middle of the day on like a Friday or something. So nobody's bidding.
Yeah.
It's a low attendance there to bid. I could have stole this thing off, and I'm right there. I've just had a run. We went to a rest stop. It was chiming on my phone. We had to run to a rest stop. My wife, we had to make a pit stop, and sure enough, I'm getting chimed with this thing, and I'm not paying attention. It's down to 4 seconds. I try to put a bid in. I think the thing went for like only $140. It was so mint and clean. It was like it was run maybe twice, he said, in its whole life. No
Wow.
scratches underneath. An original Blitzer Beetle, just to put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I have not found another one as nice, as clean, or to go for that kind of money. And I'm like, oh man,
Oh
I
no.
totally missed out. I wanted that thing, so bad. I'm like, I'm usually pretty good with that. I can get
Yeah.
on, just place a bid, but I don't know what happened. I blacked out or something, and all of a sudden it was over. But I'm still on the hunt for a Blitzer beetle. I've never had one. And
That's a sad story, man.
yep.
So, have you not got any re-reads or anything you could go after over there?
All original stuff I have. I got original, two original Monster Beetles.
Yeah.
I got two original Blackfoots. And then one Blackfoot I just picked up. Again, similar to the Blitzer Beetle. It's a Shelf Queen. Picked it
Cool.
up on eBay. It's got the Ford body. It's got all the right stuff to it. The old speed controller's still in there. It just
Brilliant.
sits on the shelf. So I just look at them, you know.
Yeah.
And then my
Oh,
Falcon is still, they never reread the Falcon.
yeah.
And I do have two Kyosho cars. I got a USA 1 and a Double Dare, which was rare.
Wow.
The Kyosho Double Dare. I remember paying $250 for that thing back in the early 90s.
Wow.
And that was supposedly the Clodbuster
Yeah.
killer.
Yeah.
And because all my friends got the Clodbuster on my block, and I
Cool.
liked the car, but I figured, I'm always a guy. I like to be the underdog. I like to compete.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, so the Double Dare was a cool truck. It was faster, but man, that thing tipped over like crazy. I mean, it was 4-wheel drive, 4-wheel steering, narrow tires.
Mid-flow there. I was just going to say, is it top heavy as well, helping it tipping over?
Yeah, totally. It tipped like crazy. So that's when then I wanted.
Fun car, but it's way top heavy, isn't it?
So that's why I upgraded it to the USA 1 arms and tires, and now it doesn't top. But if you go on eBay and look up, there's a guy now I think has a Double Dare in the box, again unassembled. I mean, some $700, $800. I mean, I've seen them up to $1,000, $1,200. I'm saying to myself, you got to be kidding, So that's a rare. It's a rare truck.
Real Volkswagen for that money, mate.
I'm telling you, man, it's really amazing. Vintage RC. It's a great little niche. It's a great little market. If anybody wanted to get into, say, selling them and buying them and selling them or something, that's a pretty decent little niche if you get them, fix them up a little bit, do nicer pictures, and throw them up on eBay.
You probably could. Yeah.
You probably could. A little side hustle. So, but
we'd rather drive them, though, wouldn't we?
I know it does pain me to look at the Shelf Queens and not do something with them.
Yeah.
But like I even told my wife, like, maybe I should get them out of my shop and bring them home and put them up like on a shelf somewhere, just so I could see them at home. And when I'm in my shop, I feel like I want to get on them.
Yeah. I could do that with the Shelf Queen, but I think every time I build one, I look at it and think, wow, I've put so much time and effort into that. I mean, this is a beautiful looking car, and then I'm like, I've got to drive it. Yeah. And then I'm telling myself on the first run, I'll take it steady, and then I put the GoPro out and I think, I've got to get some good shots here. So I end up blasting it at the camera.
Yeah.
That's it. That all thoughts of looking after the car go out the window.
That's gone. Yeah.
Just having fun with it, So
I love some of your shots where I don't know how you do it, but do you put the GoPro literally on the side of the car as you're driving? It's right there by the tires on the side of the car.
On some shots, I do. I'm out in the car. I've got a selfie stick, so I'll take the selfie stick to the back of the car.
Okay.
The camera on the side, just looking along. So I do it like that. But most of the time, it's a static camera. And basically, when I started looking at doing the videos, I noticed that if it's off in the distance, it's kind of a bit of a boring shot. So, you see a car going around and it just looks like a model car. Right. Whereas if you put the camera where it would be at the height if you were a one-to-one person,
exactly.
So you were like 6 inches instead of 6 foot off the floor.
Yes.
Got that perspective, and then you get the car close. It looks like a one-to-one car.
Yeah.
The camera. So I've got that in my mind when I'm making the videos, is try to get that so it looks like you're watching the real car.
Mm-hmm.
The bonus to that is what I've noticed with the GoPro is when you've got it on a wide angle setting, if you get the car really close, the background looks in perspective, to the size of the car.
Yeah.
There's something about that wide angle view. And again, you drive the car fast and close to the camera, it looks like a one-to-one, which is that's what I try to do when I'm doing my videos.
And you're nailing it, because I that's what I loved about your videos, man. I just thought it was so you know, again, it's you're the little kid down there playing.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what you feel like, you know, when you're playing with little cars or playing with. So I used to play with the soldiers or GI Joe or He-Man or
Yeah,
you know whatever. You're down to that level, you
that's
know, and
right.
your brain just goes right to that. That's what's just phenomenal about it, you know. So, but as far as your YouTube channel, what is your plan? I mean, what do you want to get out of it?
I don't know. Basically, I think at the moment, I really started taking it seriously probably about a year ago when my subs got up, and I thought, well, yeah, this is going okay, and obviously people are appreciating some of the videos that I'm doing. So I'm trying to get better at doing what I do. To be honest with you,
Hmm.
as far as like the run videos, but also on the how tos and the builds, because I think I've got a lot of people that have really commented on those builds that I kind of put the kit on top of the manual and do it so like if you were building it, this is what you see.
Right.
And I think
Yeah,
the
that's
fact
great.
that sometimes being the 2D diagram, they're a little bit confusing, aren't they? Sometimes a little bit
Yeah.
difficult to see exactly what it means.
Hmm.
So if you've got a video, you can just look at a video where you've got that. There's the actual parts. That's how they go. Yeah, I think that's done really well for the channel as well. So I want to keep doing that. I think in the future I want to try doing something a little bit different. Maybe try some different models apart from Tamiya. So I'm looking into that if I can get the funds up to doing that. In
Hmm.
fact, just ordered yesterday my first ever non-Tamiya kit,
Oh yeah.
uh, which should be coming soon, and
Okay.
it's also a crawler. So
Ah,
s- try and
super popular
diversify.
right now.
Exactly,
Uh,
exactly, yeah,
and I'm not into it. I haven't tried it yet. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to be trying it soon because um, Banggood, which is crazy. I never heard of Banggood until I got into the RC hobby.
same, yeah, yeah.
You know, and I was like, what kind of a name is that? You know, Banggood, uh, and with two G's, and you know, like it's just okay,
Whatever you do, don't put it the other way around.
right? Oh no, yeah, we don't want to do that. That's right. That's a good call. But they shipped me a card to review.
Yeah, I got one from them. I got a 1/24th little
Okay,
crawler.
I got a 1/8 crawler.
Wow, they
Wh-
must like you.
I mean, you know, they hit me up first off of my VW channel.
Right,
Why I don't know because I think because I did a video on my VW channel that I got back into RC
yeah,
just to update my audience, and I showed them the Monster Beetle and so something Volkswagen related.
yeah,
And they saw that, and I have almost 55,000 subs on that channel.
yeah,
So I think they saw that, and they were like, "Hey, can we send you cars to review?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's gonna alienate my audience. You know, I can't do that." So I started the RC channel, and from there, that's when they said, "Hey, can we send you a car?" And I'm like, "Sure." But they want me to like put the links in my VW channel. So they're still a little confused on my two channels, but they
yeah,
know now I have the RC channel. And I first hit them up in the very beginning, and they didn't want to send me any cars because I had very little subs.
yeah,
So now they see I have over, I guess, 3,000 or so, and they want to send me some cars. So we'll give it a shot. It's only like a $40 car. It's nothing special, but
yeah.
something to start with. And then there's another company called Remo Toy, I think. I never heard of them either. And then I went to their website. They've been around for a bit too, and they sent me the new WL Toys knockoff car, which is called the XLF.
Right.
Pretty cool looking car. It's actually better build quality, metal parts, a meaner looking car, better drivetrain. It looks like. Again, for like $100, you could buy that
Yeah.
car. So I have to do a review on that one too. So getting there, and again, it's just a hobby of mine, and I just think it's fun, and it's just something that I want to go back to my youth with, and if I can share it with people, that's what it's all about.
Better, exactly. I think that's that's what most, like you say, there's lots and lots of channels, but I think most of us are just sharing the hobby because there aren't that many people into it, are they, in your
Yeah,
local area? What I find is me and my friend Rob that I do the videos with.
the videos
Look,
with yeah.
my friend's well into it as well. He's got his own channel, Rob Brennan.
Hmm.
He's got a great channel, so check him out if you get a
Check
chance.
him out. So yeah.
Yeah, and we do loads of stuff together. So, but other than that, the main people I speak to are on YouTube, through the videos.
Yeah. So, do you want to tell everybody what you're getting, or you want to hold off for your video?
Yeah, I don't know the actual model of it, but it's a Charisma
Oh, okay.
Range Rover. It's a
Oh, okay.
1/10 Range Rover. It's a metal chassis,
Yeah.
uh, all metal parts, and it's got CNC machined alloy wheels. So it's an
Mhm.
exact copy of the original 1981 Range Rover. So it's a really nice looking body.
Well, I
Really,
got to try. I mean, I might get hooked with this one that they gave me, you know. So that would be interesting to see, But is there anything you think should be improved in today's day with RC that could be a bit better for new folks
um,
or indie
I
folks?
think we've touched on a few things. I think with my link with Tamiya, I think what we've talked about, improving the kits a little bit with the ball bearings
Yeah,
and
for
some
sure.
decent shocks. So there's that side of it. The other side of that with Tamiya for me is the hop ups and spare parts. They
Hmm.
need to be cheaper. I think they're
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
rip off, to be honest with you. But apart from that, on the RC world side of it, I think it'd be nicer to see more what you talked about, just more areas where people could get together because I
Yes.
don't know anywhere around here. Like at the local parks, you've got like a skate park or a BMX bike park, but
Hmm.
why not be a section for RC cars?
I agree.
It's crawling or just like we made a little track up the park, my friend and myself, just
Hmm.
around a few trees, and we've
That's
just
great.
wore that tracking. We've gone up there and we just run the cars around, and and we're out the way. And it's not a park where anyone else uses in the park,
Right.
so we're not causing anybody any problems. But
Yeah, of
you know,
course.
if they went, there you go, guys. There's a spot for you. I think that would encourage more people into it as well.
No,
So
I
that would
agree.
be nice. Yeah.
It's funny because I used to get last year I was subscribing to RC Car Action magazine, and I used to get that magazine when I was younger, and it used to be this thick when I was younger. Now it's like paper thin. It's like almost
Yeah.
nothing. And there was a one in the first page intro article was, I guess, from one of the editors saying how the hobby is going down in popularity because of drones and such.
Right.
And I don't think so. Like
No.
I spoke about this with Vass a couple weeks ago, and I think with the rereads of the Tamiya stuff, and then Arma has been blasting out on the market.
And
Their cars,
they're doing so well, aren't they?
they're
Yeah.
doing, yeah, and their cars aren't just your standard ordinary cars. They keep stepping up each
Yeah.
year
Yeah.
and improving significantly each kit. Each ready to run vehicle each year. I mean, it's the felony that I picked up this year. I mean, it's based off of the infraction, but my God, is that car a beast? I mean, it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
they're weapons. These cars are weapons. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how they are. I mean, so I would think that would bring the popularity up because they just keep cranking it. But do you have a favorite RC? What are your top, say, three or top five
Oh,
RCs?
out of my collection.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's gonna have to be that TIO one, Escort. In
Okay.
fact,
Let me see that.
this is what's left of it.
Oh my gosh.
See that? There's that coming across. Um,
Uh-huh.
I said it got so much use.
Hmm.
Well, yeah. Well, there's the proof. So yeah, that's the original body.
Wow.
But the chassis, luckily, is still in one piece. This is
Nice.
the only thing that's ever broken on this is the motor mount in there somewhere.
Okay.
Um, the rest of it, after all that, it must have done hundreds of miles, literally. That's a testament to Tamiya. The thing's still going today. Um,
Hmm.
I just got a new body. She's a Subaru with the beautiful Tamiya rally car bodies.
Wow. That looks
This
great.
thing, right? I mean, it's well used, but so that car's got a lease of life. So I would say probably from all the memories it holds,
Hmm.
fun I've had with it, it's going to be that one, I think.
Oh, that's
But
awesome.
I thought you might ask me this one, and my first answer to that question was going to be the one I'm driving.
Uh-huh.
Whatever one I'm driving now, that's my favourite.
That's great.
I get one of my Tammys out, get a four-wheel drive buggy sound. I'm racing it round with my friend, and I'm
Hmm.
thinking, four-wheel drive the bee's knees. You know, this is great. This thing handles great, great fun. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it varies from day to day. I just love all of them, to be honest with you.
Mm.
Yeah, they're all great fun.
Yeah, I go through cycles, you know, like I'm definitely an Arma fan right now, and but then every now and then I go back to that WL Toys car because
Yeah,
there's something about that car that you know, that brings me back to the old days, the Tamiya days. You
yeah,
know, because it's smaller and it's definitely durable. It's got you know, it could take a little bit of a beating, which is nice, but it just there's something about it that brings me back, and it's small enough that you're not gonna hurt anybody.
yeah.
And again, you can throw it in the back of a you know your backpack or something. And you know, it's getting such popularity now that there's a lot of hop ups for it that you can do to it. And I even bought a beetle body for the car now, which is a guy. I saw it on eBay, and I'm like, holy cow, look at that, looks awesome, you know. And I texted the guy. I said, look, you know, how many could I get? You know, could you make a package deal for me? And he's like, "Oh, are you Chris Vallone?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I follow your VW channel."
Oh,
So I'm
cool.
like, "Oh my God, how weird!" You know, like it's such a small world sometimes. And but yeah, I mean, I would recommend if you got some a little bit of money laying around, pick one
Yeah,
of them suckers up, man, because
I've been
they're cool.
to try one of those. They
Yeah,
look a lot of fun. They look a lot of fun, and I think like you said, we touched on earlier about the look and the design of the things. That body I'm not keen on, but yeah, stick a Volkswagen shell on that,
totally.
and you've got a whole classic little car there, haven't you?
That's it. And you know what? And I've been wrenching on it. It's easy to get into the
Yeah,
differentials. You know, it's got the two gearboxes, front and rear. It's got this, you know, the center drive shaft, which is really nice, easy to work on. I showed a video on how to, you know, tune it before you get going. And
yeah, 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 it's cool. Yeah,
yeah. So, because when it comes to you, they say ready to run, but the wheels are like this. The camber is like all messed up. I mean, it's like who's putting this together? The shocks are
there's no oil in the gearbox, and yeah,
no, there's no exactly no oil, no grease in there, so you can put any
grease.
standard grease
Yeah,
in there. And the
yeah.
shocks are a little overfilled on one and not on the other. It's just a little wacky. But
So
so
yeah, just like so, little tweaks you can do, you can make the whole thing so much better, can't you?
yeah, and then again, I guess maybe it's a blessing that it doesn't come ready to run, so to speak, because again, now we're kind of getting into it again,
We're
and
back
we're
to where you started with your comments about, get your hands dirty, get in there,
that's it.
build the things, keep
That's
them
right.
running.
That's right. Because then
Yeah,
at the end, after I finish playing, you know, messing with it, my hands got some grease on them. I got a little under the fingernail. I could
yeah.
smell the grease, and my wife's like, "We're just about to have dinner. What are you doing?" And I'm doing this on the kitchen table, you know. So she's like, "What are you doing? Get the car off. Come on!" And I'm like, "I'm almost done. You know, let me. I just gotta, you know. It's
This is
just
weird.
you get so
Sounds
wrapped up in it.
like my house.
I'm
We
telling you.
got a lot in common, Chris.
No, it's excellent, you know. So the last question is what kind of advice would you give a newbie, maybe a youngster or someone just new getting into the hobby, even if it's someone say our age, my age, your
Right.
age, you know, to say, hey, you know, I want to get into this. What do I got to look out for?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I think what I would say was don't go too big. If you're going to start off, get something you can afford. Don't go crazy, like you say, saving money for you. So get something you can afford, something that's small, or preferably something you can build to properly get you into the hobby.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
if you know how to build it, you know how to maintain it. So there's that side of it. And the other thing I think is try and get someone in the hobby with you to do it, to share it with.
I agree.
I
That's
think
great.
like most hobbies, um, you know, it's no fun on your own, is it? Or it's not as fun on your own, is it?
Yep.
So if you've got someone you can convince, because let's face it, if you've got a friend, most friends, you're like-minded, aren't you?
Yes.
So you're likely to like the same thing. So get a friend involved, buy two cars the same or whatever, build them together and,
Yep.
share the fun, share the experience of the hobby.
That's great to get other
I think
people
that's it.
involved, you know, and again, like I say, get off this. Don't
Oh,
talk through this.
God, yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Let's get together. I'll meet you at the school parking lot. I'll
yeah.
meet you at the supermarket parking lot, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Get the guys together. I'll set up the cones, and let's do some racing. You know, I
Oh,
mean,
It's great, Chris. That's exactly that's what I do now. You know, I said I work in a school. I get back, I call my friend up, Rob.
Uh-huh.
There's a park that's just in between the two of us. It's like 5 minutes away. I'm
Right.
like, I've done work. I've had enough. Let's get out, get the cones out. Let's go. And you know, that's you know, and I'll be doing that when I'm a pensioner, Chris. I think you know. So,
There you go. Very cool. Well, this has been great, man. I mean, we almost spoke for like an hour. I think we could
oh
start off a
wow,
little bit, but this is great. I mean, it's just great information. This is all good stuff for everybody out there, and let's keep this alive. And if anybody wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
through the channel is the best way. I respond to every single comment so far.
Excellent.
So, if you know, if you want to catch me, I'll respond pretty much as quick as I can. So,
Mark
yeah,
Bryan RC. Just look that up,
yeah.
guys, and he's got an awesome channel. Check out his rally cars, doing spin outs and stuff. His Monster Beetle action is really really cool, and it's great having you on the channel. I hope we can keep in touch, and
Oh
maybe
yeah,
one day
definitely.
we'll do some. Maybe we could do some live wrenching.
Yeah, oh,
Live. That'd be
that's
really cool.
great, Chris. I really appreciate you getting in touch with me. It's been great talking to you.
Awesome.
And yeah, I've made another RC friend, which is fantastic.
And there you go. All right,
Yeah,
man. Good
long
talking to
may
you.
it continue. Yeah, look after
Yes.
yourself, Chris.
All right. Be well.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.